I was based in Ahmedabad at the Gandhi Ashram, and I was staying with two of the other volunteers. There were 3 volunteers based there working with an organization called Manav Sadhana, and they worked with underprivileged women and children in underserved communities in the area. And so I was staying in this incredible place. I mean, the Gandhi Ashram, so much change and history happened there. I mean, Gandhi spent many years of his life there, so it's just imbued with really strong values and like strong vibrations of service. And yet my role was basically to follow the volunteers around with a camera and capture their work. So I was in this position of being an observer and just watching what they were doing and capturing as much of their experience as possible. And so I sort of felt like I was on the outside looking in. I felt like a voyeur where I was just seeing all these amazing people around me doing impactful work, whether it was helping the health of the women and children in the community, or teaching them English, or teaching them math, ensuring that the kids were off the streets and in school, all these really tangible ways. And I sort of struggled with, well, what's my place in all of this? Like, I want to be doing that as well. I want to be making a difference, and I don't really feel like I'm making a difference sitting here with my camera and just capturing everything that they're doing. And I was confused about what I should do and what I shouldn't do, because I wanted to be accountable, and I wanted to do the best work that I could and deliver really inspiring stories of each of these volunteers. And so I didn't want to sacrifice that by all of a sudden trying to create my own project at Manav Sadhana. And so I held back. You know, there were little small ways that I was able to integrate into the community, you know, such as helping this one kid named Upen, you know, learn English. And I was struggling with myself with the language, so he was helping me learn Gujarati. So there were small incidents like that, but by and large, you know, the volunteers that were at Manav Sadhana, they were kind of doing the heavy lifting and working on their projects with a lot of dedication. And so it wasn't until years later that I realized that through that experience, I learned a really important life lesson, and that is just being an active listener. The power of really hearing somebody without judgment and letting them speak without interruption. And there were moments during that time where I had gotten so close to the people there, and people felt so comfortable with me that I got to see them at their best times, you know, their most shining moments, and then times when they were really vulnerable and were really challenged and struggling. And that wouldn't have happened if I had tried to actively participate in what I was seeing on the other side of the camera, and trying to make my own impact. I would have missed out on an opportunity to really hear those stories fully and see the full context of where those stories were coming from. And it's expanded my definition of service. You know, service doesn't have to be the big impact. It doesn't have to be quantifiable. It's not about serving 1,000 meals to kids in the community every month. Those things are really important, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the type of service that I do. You know, service can be small. It can start with something as simple as just watching and listening and hearing people and their stories. And you know, that allows people to feel comfortable in their own skin and process, you know, what they're experiencing. And I think it also allowed Indicor to share really true, authentic stories about the fellows to inspire others to join the organization.